The good old anime hot take. Like any other medium of art entertainment, the world of anime and manga is full of fans who have a lot of opinions. And those fans are not shy about letting you know that their completely subjective belief is better than your completely subjective belief. But in my opinion, it's a little different when it comes to anime as opposed to like film or music or video games. Why, you ask? Because anime fans are dumb. I'm talking brain-dead, moronic clowns with less media literacy than a hermit living in the mountains. If you like anime, I automatically assume you're at least 10 points lower than the average IQ. I'm just playing, of course, but it is interesting that the discourse regarding anime and manga is a bit different than like discourse involving something else that's civil and rational, like K-pop. Okay, point I'm trying to make is that there are plenty of wild hot takes that anime and manga fans will pull out of thin air, and to find the best ones, I went to Twitter to ask my lovely devoted followers. You know what they say, there's no one that hates a fandom more than the fandom itself, and that's especially true for anime and manga. Just look at this person who says, anime is rarely good these days. Save time and read the manga. The age-old anime versus manga debate. Don't want to see Attack on Titan spoilers? Just read the manga. The Soul Eater anime ruins the story? Just read the manga instead. You don't have to deal with all the Naruto filler if you just read the manga. You see, anime and manga are two separate mediums, and I mean, sometimes the manga is better and sometimes the anime is transformative enough to be a unique experience on its own. So there's no right or wrong way to look at it, and you know, there are exceptions to everything. Oh wait, they already said that. Well, that's not that spicy of a take in that case. What about something similar like this? I don't know where this anime is just manga promotion shit came from, but I don't buy it. That's a very expensive commercial, bro. I think people just made that up to justify why anime series never get finalized. This one is kinda true and kinda false. There's a difference between saying anime is just an advertisement and saying anime is a way to advertise. Cause it is true that anime is used to sell manga. I mean, why do you think some shows just stop in the middle of a story after 2 seasons? Part of it could be, you know, production issues, lack of interest, and other things, but it's also so that you have to go out and buy the manga or light novel to finish a story. Now, this person is right when they say anime is an expensive advertisement. You know, production costs for even the most bootleg bum-ass anime can be in the millions. Take into account the manpower you need and all the other logistics, and it's like, yeah, I don't know if a mangaka that makes less than 6 figures is shelling out that much for advertising. But the thing is, the decision to make an adaptation can also be in the hands of anime studios and the production companies that own the publishing rights to these manga. And they definitely have incentive to put money into an anime adaptation because they can sell things like figurines, physical BDs, art books, posters, and other merchandise that the original mangaka won't even get royalties on. So yes, in that case, anime can be an advertisement to sell that kind of stuff. Now, if you're an international fan, it might be hard to believe that these external sales is enough to justify the production of an anime. But you gotta understand that this stuff is a huge market within Japan itself. I mean, y'all know places like Akihabara, right? Like, if you don't live around there, you'll never know all of the live events and other random promotions they do that make boatloads of cash even for the most random anime IP. So yeah, this is an interesting talking point, but not the hottest take ever. But this is a hot take. You can't rate an anime where you skip the fillers. It's basically skipping the bad parts and ignoring them. Uh-oh. A lot of y'all watching this are feeling called out now. I disagree with this take. First off, you can rate an anime however you want. Who cares? It's your opinion. I made a whole damn video about people caring too much about arbitrary ranking systems and criteria for what makes an anime good and how that's ruining the community. If you only watch one episode of Bleach and that's it and decide it's a 0 out of 10, who cares? That's your opinion. You can like or dislike whatever you want. Now, will people take your opinion seriously? Now, that's a different question, but again, I mean, who cares? Like, not everyone has to be out there like Anthony Fantano putting their opinions for the whole world to see. Point is, however you watch an anime is up to you. If you watch an anime and skip the filler, you can still have an opinion on it. Hell, if you only watch the filler and none of the canon, I guess you could still have an opinion. I probably won't listen to it, but who cares about me anyway? But I guess if you want a more nuanced answer to this take, it all comes down to what you consider the definitive experience for a series. Going back to Bleach as an example, are you saying you can't rate Bleach the anime without watching the filler? Or are you saying you can't rate Bleach the series without watching the filler? Looking at the former, I think there's some truth there. The fillers are part of an anime. The studio put those episodes in the anime and released them to the public. They're part of the experience. Otherwise, why are they in there? There's no asterisk next to an episode title saying, by the way, this is a filler episode. So technically, to get the full Bleach or Naruto or One Piece or whatever experience, the fillers are part of that. But to experience these anime as a series, meaning how Kubo or Kishimoto or whoever probably intended it, I don't think you have to watch the fillers. Because Bleach as a series is beyond just the anime, it's the manga too, right? That's Kubo's original vision for the series. Now, whether that means anything to you or not is up to debate, but the way I see it, to experience Naruto, using a different example, as an IP, you don't really need to watch all the fillers. All that being said, side note, I've gone on record saying Naruto is my least favorite anime ever, and I watched all the fillers, so I mean, if I had to sit through them, you should too, but you know, it's just me. So, we're getting spicier and spicier with the takes, but y'all gotta see this next one. If other studios follow in MAPPA's footsteps, the community is going to have a serious conversation about how much we want something animated and how much we care about the workers who toil away to give us a show that will meet our rising and unforgiving standards. Now that's a hot take, because some of y'all not even ready to have that conversation. First and foremost, MAPPA is not the only anime studio to have questionable working conditions for their staff. We all know animators in Japan are not exactly treated like royalty, if you know what I mean, and a lot of y'all's favorite shows were made because of these very same animators being, well, exploited, to be frank. But then that brings up this even broader scope discussion about exploited workers in general, right? Because I mean, if you're having second thoughts about consuming anime because of how the industry exploits its workers, then you got to think about things like the smartphone industry exploiting workers, the meat processing industry and their questionable practices, and all kinds of other stuff. And that's a conversation that's way above my pay grade. Mainly because YouTube barely pays me, but let me chill. The other interesting part of this person's take is where they say, how much do we want to see something animated? And the part about our rising and unforgiving standards, obviously referring to us, the anime community. The how much do we want something animated part ties into some of the previous takes. Because like I said earlier, consumer demand does play a part in whether or not an anime gets made and or gets multiple seasons. But I mean, this supply and demand thing extends to other parts of the industry as well, because we know that mangaka are often overworked. How many mangaka have gone on hiatus because of the author's health? We all know Hunter x Hunter is a famous example, and My Hero Academia's mangaka just took time off for health reasons too. And that brings it around to the part of the rising standards. And this is the part I'm a little more iffy on, because what rising standards are we really talking about here? If it's quantity, then I can agree, because all of us want more anime and even demand more anime. We ain't trying to wait more than a year for the conclusion of Attack on Titan or whatever. We want it now. And of course, you can attribute this to the lower attention spans of consumers these days, as well as the insanely quick pop culture turnover. A show can become irrelevant just a few weeks after it's done airing. Remember how My Dress Up Darling was the golden child of its season? Now who's really even talking about that series anymore? I mean, even the manga kind of fell off in conversation. So I can agree with consumers having unreasonable quantity demands, which puts stress on the mangaka and the animators, but as far as quality, I don't know. I know there's conversation about how Demon Slayer is setting a new standard for animation, but it's like, are people really not watching shows because they don't look as good as a Ufotable show? I mean, we also just had Bocchi the Rock come out with innovative animation from Cloverworks, and I mean, I'm sure Cloverworks has some level of questionable practices when it comes to animators, but Bocchi the Rock did really well just using traditional animation in unique ways and having passionate animators go the extra mile. But I don't know if I agree that the anime community has an unreasonable quality standard. I mean, people are still watching Boruto, aren't they? So yeah, this is definitely a hot take, and one that's difficult to agree or disagree with. Damn. An anime fan with a nuanced opinion. You see something new every day. But even still, these takes are kind of mild on the grand scheme of things. I need something a bit higher on the Scoville scale. In fact, I don't even need a spicy take. We gotta end this video with a brain dead take. Something that'll make me regret making a Twitter account. A lot of the deep and complex anime manga that are allegedly full of subtext and nuance are usually just a collective fan headcanon that try to find meaning in every insignificant interaction. Now that's the quality, spicy dog shit take I like to see. And luckily someone already commented for me. That's literally the point of art. Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh yeah, there's also this hot take that I saw. JoJo is only popular because of memes and has become massively overrated because of that. That man TGU swag. He never misses.